All right, we are live here on Unadvised. A bunch of losers here with you, hanging out, talking ball. I mean, that's just the state of Oklahoma in football. It's just a bunch of losers after last night. The Oklahoma Sooners drop one in Missouri to the Tigers. Oklahoma State gets pounded by TCU. It's just all I can say is, what the hell, man? A bunch of losers around here, T-Bag.
I didn't think it could get worse. And it somehow managed to get worse.
Yeah.
I guess looking at it now, I was dumb for even believing OSU could keep that thing close, because they haven't kept a game close like all season long, except kind of Utah and BYU, obviously. Other than that, it's just been blowout after blowout. So I guess I'm probably dumb for just thinking that they could keep it close.
No, we can only blame ourselves for thinking these football teams can actually win football games.
I still think it got worse. Being down 24-0 to a 5-4 TCU team at halftime, it kind of felt like a new rock bottom, but we can dive more into it. I think the bigger story, Preston, is definitely what happened in Columbia, Missouri last night, because I was just – I'll say this, and OU fans, you're not going to like to hear this, Preston. OU fan – not when I say you're not going to like to hear this. OU fans are going to like to hear this. Just as a guy that's not a fan of OU or Missouri, just watching that game was awesome. Like, absolutely awesome. That last 4 minutes was just pure chaos. It's what you think of when you think of college football, just dumb mistakes and big drives and, just everything. It really was awesome to watch.
No, and by the way, follow us at PrestonPool405, at Tyler's Takes, at Unadvised Pod on X as well. So give us a follow there. We go live, basically every week, every Sunday for sure. This is kind of a little bit of a different schedule for us due to the Thunder playing tonight. So we're on a little early. If you have any fantasy football questions, send those in as well. And
check my lineup.
It was, yeah.
McCaffrey's back.
That is right. McCaffrey's back. So yeah, if you have any fantasy questions, send those in. We'll answer those up. We'll be live here up until noon when the NFL kicks off. But yeah, let's get into more of this OU football game here. It was 9-3 at halftime. And look, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I had a buddy that lives out of state. He was in town last night, so I hung out with him and didn't really pay too much attention to this football game. And thank God that I didn't, or else I'd probably be a little bit more upset than what I am right now. But yeah, 9-3 at halftime. I mean, in this game, Jackson Arnold had 75 passing yards. The punter had 43, T-Bag. It just – the offense continues to just boggle my mind at how bad they can be. And again, shouldn't be surprised because it's just a bad football team all around. But Jackson Arnold, sorry, my computer's not loading a little bit here. 15-24 for 74 yards, no touchdowns. Taylor Tatum had more touchdowns than the quarterback in this one. He was 1 for 1 for 18 yards, threw that pass to Jackson Arnold. At the end of the game, they have the scoop and score to go up by I don't even remember. It was 16 to 23 to 16 at that point, I think, when they scooped and scored.
30 to 23.
Well, I'm talking about the Billy Bowman.
Oh, the Billy Bowman. Yeah, that was to go.
Score.
That was go up to.
It looks like 23 to 16 is what they went up there. Missouri goes down, scores a touchdown to tie it with 57 seconds left in the game. And then Oklahoma and Jackson Arnold just fumbled away. Missouri scoops and scores, and they win it 30 to 23. So just no words to describe how just bad and awful of a football game for Oklahoma that was. That was your last winnable game of the season, and you fumbled it away. And now you're going to end your 25, 26 year straight bowl streak. You're not going to make a bowl game unless a miracle happens and somehow, some way you're able to beat Alabama at home or LSU on the road, which it won't happen. They're going to get their ass kicked in both of those games easily. So, yeah, I mean, this was your last chance at least, making a bowl game, and you just squandered it away.
Yeah, the quarterback play is really bad. The turnovers, 4 turnovers. I think there's 5 total fumbles. 4 of them are covered by Missouri. Jackson Arnold had 3 of those himself. 2 of them were recovered by Missouri. One, obviously, to end the game was just bad. The game management outside that field goal at the end of the first half was really bad.
Which has been a thing with Venables this whole time.
Yeah, it's a reoccurring issue.
6 fumbles, by the way, by Oklahoma. They lost 4 of those fumbles.
Oh, okay, 6. Yeah. And then, like, just the last play of the game, Preston, when Jackson Arnold's running, gets a nice 15 yards, it could easily slide with 2 seconds left, call an instant timeout, and then you have a shot. You have a shot at the end zone. I mean, is it going to happen? Probably not with the way the offensive line blocks, but you have a shot compared to you just run out until there's zeros on the clock. I mean, it's just bad situational awareness football all around. The offense is pathetically bad. That sweep to Bauer Sharp is one of the most jaw-dropping plays. I literally thought, like, whenever I saw that play, I didn't see it at the time, but I saw it on Twitter. I actually was like, oh, like laughed out loud. Like, did they actually do that? The defense, bless their hearts, they played good until the end. But when it mattered, they gave up a 75-yard touchdown drive in 50 seconds or whatever it was. Just everything about last night was, I don't want to say crippling, but as close to crippling of a program as you can get. And Preston, where do you go from here with Brent Venables? Because they're just not well coached. They're just not. Like all around.
And the thing is you're backed in the corner with the buyout. That's $45 million. So, I mean, unless they have someone that steps up and gives them $45 million, Brent Venables will be the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners next season, So, just kind of like we said yesterday, talking about, Mike Gundy, there's 45 million reasons why Brent Venables is going to be the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners next season. Clock management, game management has been an issue the last 3 seasons under Brent Venables. And it's one of those things where hire someone to sit there and tell you what the hell to do whenever it comes down. Like, you can do that. A lot of coaches do that. Why don't you do it? It's just like not having a guy that played quarterback be the quarterback coach. You have this season you had Luttrell, who was the quarterback coach and never played quarterback. Now you got I don't know who the hell is a quarterback coach at this point. It doesn't even matter. But it's just disgusting. And I'm sitting here watching this game in Germany, T-Bag, and I wish I was one of those Germans there that had no clue what the hell was going on in a football game, because I'm sitting here ranting to people on the internet because there's just so much bad football being played in the state of Oklahoma right now.
But then you wouldn't be a World War champ. Back-to-back World War champ.
That is true.
You got to look at it from that perspective. I mean, just being a football fan in this state just really sucks right now. For both schools, it just feels like 2 completely different kinds of suckage. Like OSU just seems like you have no like hope or life or anything. There's just nothing. And with OU, it's just like, how can we get worse week by week? That's like almost their mantra. And then they'll show you a little flash against Ole Miss or something like, maybe they can build off this going into Maine, then going into Columbia, then going into a bye week. Maybe they can build off that. Nope. They built off.
I'm not even confident they're going to win the bye week, T-Bag. That's how bad they are. They might lose the bye week. OU and OSU, for that matter, they both might lose the bye week.
We should do Bedlam this weekend. Screw the bye week. Let's get a Bedlam game going in a Field of Dreams like scenario. Put the game in. What's the halfway between like Guthrie, like Edmond? Maybe it's probably at the halfway point between the two. Somewhere on 35. Yeah, just let's go play that. Like Oklahoma Christian School and that 2,000 seat stadium, and just watch that unfold.
Yeah, no, we can play it at a soccer stadium at this point. It doesn't matter because they're just so damn bad. It is awful. I'm trying, and it's one of those things where you can't sit back and be like, well, they keep finding different ways to lose football games, because that's not the case. They just keep losing football games. It's not like, obviously this one, the fumble recovery at the end for Missouri to, waltz into the end zone and win a game. But other than that, like, they've just been outplayed, outcoached, and outmanned on the football field for 5 games that they've lost. Now they're 5-5.
Yeah.
And even, some of those other games that they won where you look and you're like, yeah, you probably should have lost that one, including the Houston game early in the season. Probably should have lost. You deserved at least to lose that one. It's just you look back and you're like, how the hell did they end up beating Tulane? How the how did they end up, how did they beat Auburn?
Auburn's one of the only two that's SEC like other than Mississippi State.
Yeah,
worse than them.
It's just insane. So there's just really no like hope for the future, I think, at this point for Oklahoma. Like I don't know how you can sit and watch this football team play and be like, you know what, next year they get an offensive coordinator to come in, they're going to turn it around. It's like, no, dude. I mean, this is just bad football.
Yeah. I just don't know where you go from here. Like you said, with the offensive coordinator and stuff at Preston, I've thought this really since kind of year one with him. I wasn't loud about it because wasn't for sure. And also I didn't want to just be that guy, that overreaction guy for 1 year. Not thinking he was a guy, but I just haven't been a believer in Brent Venables since he went 6-7. And I know like the excuse was, well, the portal, Lincoln Riley took Caleb Williams and all these guys. It's not like OU still wasn't full of 4 stars on that team, they're better than 6-7 in the Big 12. And that was a down Big 12 year. The champion was 10-4. It was not a good Big 12. And then last year, they went 10-2, 10-3, including the bowl game. It was a smoke and fire, kind of like OSU last year. It's kind of a little bit of a smoke and fire, another down Big 12 year, winning a bunch of close games, winning a bunch of games that could have gone either way, one-score games. And then this year, you go to the SEC, go to a different league, and it's just completely caught up to you. It's year 2 or year 3 into this project, and I know the buyout's a lot, but if I'm an OU fan and Brent Venables is coach next year, it's hard. It's hard to know where the future is going, other than, hey, maybe the defense is going to be a little bit better. That's really about it.
That is literally it, because you can't trust anything on they've turned into worse than Iowa on offense. It's just completely terribly bad. I mean, it had to have the defense score a touchdown yesterday for them to even think about being in the football game to tie it up. Or I guess they took that lead and then kind of squandered it away after that. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to sit here and say that next year will be all sunshine and roses, but it will not be. But who knows? We'll see what happens from here for the Sooners. Like I mentioned, Jackson Arnold 74 passing yards yesterday, no touchdowns. Xavier Robinson, the true freshman, 9 carries, 56 yards. I guess maybe that's like a bright spot there for you. Only giving Taylor Taven the ball 8 times and your other running back 9 times seems kind of dumb whenever you've been able to run the football at least okay the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Having Javonte Barnes last night hurt a lot too. But none of it matters.
Yeah. It doesn't. And that's the sad part. So Oklahoma loses 30-23 to Missouri. How about Eli Drinkowitz, by the way, using his, I don't know if it was either his post-game interview or his post-game press conference to take a shot at Bob Stoops. The guy,
he's an odd guy.
The guy that beat the hell out of Missouri 8 times, only lost to him once. You're going to use your post-game to take a shot at Bob Stoops? How stupid are you? I mean, that is just so stupid for a guy that did nothing but beat the hell out of Missouri. Take a shot at Brent Venables. You just kicked his ass on the football field. You don't need to be taking a shot at Bob Stoops.
What did Bob even say? I don't even know.
It was back in the summer where he just said something along the lines of, we always beat Missouri, which is true.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a factual statement that Bob Stoops always beat the hell out of Missouri. I don't know what his actual comments were, but it was something along those lines. And Drinkowitz, the corny, just insufferable, guy that he is sometimes, decided to use his post game, to take a shot at Bob Stoops for some reason. It's just idiotic.
Did you hear the playoffs comment? He said he's like, what does this win do to your program? He's like, keeps us alive for the playoffs. Playoffs. That's right. I said it. He knows his team's bad and everyone's going to judge him for making the playoffs.
Yeah. He's just corny and continues to be corny. But yeah, it is what it is. Oklahoma drops one 30-23. Let's turn the page now.
We don't have
to. Well, I forgot
NFL today.
I forgot to clip that very end of our show yesterday where you gave us a rundown of the Oklahoma State game. But let's do it again real quick. Give us a rundown of your thoughts on the Pokes taking on TCU yesterday.
Sorry, let me put my stuff down. I'm trying to play some wagers here on the bookie. It felt like a new rock bottom yesterday being down. So, Preston, we talked about when me and you did our show on the animal yesterday before unsportsmanlike conduct started off. I asked the questions like, is it going to be bad if I just put this game on my second TV on the quad box?
Yeah,
and that's literally what I did for it. I watched the first 30 minutes on my main TV before Alabama LSU started. Then I switched over to Alabama LSU. On the main TV, which turned out to be not fun at all. So I was watching this game loaded on the quad box. I was paying attention to 70% of the game. For example, there was a time where TCU scored and it was to go up 31-7 or something, and I didn't even notice. I was like, oh, they scored? Cool. I don't even know how that happened. But whenever they were down 24-0 yesterday, I felt no emotion during the game. I literally didn't feel any feelings during the game. But when they're down 24-0, and I saw that at halftime, and I saw my jog to the locker room, I was like, "Oh my God, they're actually down 24-0 to a 5-4 TCU team at halftime." For whatever reason, for me, that just felt like a new low. That felt like a new low. This team is. If I'm Mike Gundy, this is what I'm doing Monday. I'm walking into practice, probably even today, because I'm sure they're going to have a team meeting today. I'm walking into practice. You got a bye week this week, so you got 2 weeks of practice. I'm just going to say every single job is open. Every job. Because they're not playing. Outside Brennan Presley and Ollie Gordon, shout out Ollie Gordon, had a good game last night. It doesn't feel like anyone's trying. It just feels like it's a team that's quit. To feel like it's a team that's just not bought in right now. So I would just say, hey, all the jobs are open right now. If you want to play, prove to me that you want to play right now. You're not going to make a bowl game. That's officially OU. We can say, oh, they're not going to make a bowl game. They technically can still make a bowl game. They still have 2 more opportunities to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
OSU is not making a bowl game, and they are 3-7. Okay, unless they go 5-7 to have the highest GPA in college football, and then there's a couple open bowl spots because they're not both bowl eligible teams. They're not making a bowl game. So.
Lightning has to strike the perfect way for them to make a bowl game.
That's just where we're at right now. We saw Malalaki, I think I'm saying that right, Smith come in last night. He was decent. He had hold on, let me see what he had. He had pretty good outside the interceptions.
6 for 8 for 92 yards and an interception.
He didn't look bad. He threw a bad interception, but true freshman getting thrown in. I'm not going to hold that against him. Say it wasn't a good interception at all. I'm not excusing the interception, but I'm not going to be like, oh, no, we can't play him now. No, if you're Mike Gundy, you have 2 weeks to prepare him. He's going to get to play his first start at home. You have to play him. You just do. You have to play him. It's getting bad, and I don't know. Where does Mike Gundy stand? I said yesterday I want to be quadruple sure. If they ever let go of Mike Gundy, you better be quadruple sure that he's done, that he's not the guy.
Yeah.
Because it could get bad. This is as we said, how good. Oh my gosh, my freaking laptop is just having a spaz out right now. I got all my texts on my phone just decided to catch up and just ring in my ear at that time. We talked about it yesterday, Preston. If this is 10 years ago, Oklahoma State is legit top 15, 20 job in the country.
Yeah.
Because of Mike Gundy. And it's still a really good job, don't get me wrong. But if you're a coach and you're looking at the landscape of college football right now, you got almost every SEC team. A lot of the Big Ten teams, I know no one wants to admit that, but that's the reality. They make double the money that OSU does. They have double the alumni that OSU does. Indiana, for example, has double the money and double the NIL that OSU does right now. That's facts. So winning doesn't matter when it comes to this anymore. Oklahoma State is in that. It's probably in the 30 to 40 range now. So how good of a coach can you go out there and get? Probably, I mean, I think you probably go get a good one. I'm not saying, but I just want to be quadruple sure if you're going to let go of Mike Gundy. I don't want to be double sure. I don't want to double check. I don't want to triple check. I want to quadruple check that, hey, this is not going to work. I'm confident in saying that. Because letting go of Mike Gundy, it could be the best thing this program's ever seen. It could be. It could also be, hey, have fun not winning 10 games for the next 20 years. That's reality. Look at Texas Tech. Texas Tech and OSU are very similar programs until you separate the last 15 years. Separate the last 15 years of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State football. They're pretty similar programs. And what's the difference in that last 15 years? Texas Tech was dumb and got rid of Mike Leach. Oklahoma State was able to keep Mike Gundy.
Yeah.
Look at Texas Tech since they got rid of Mike Leach. What's the difference between the two schools? I mean, there's really not a whole lot.
You're right. You're right. So, no, I completely agree with you on that. The good thing is, though, that you have Chuba Hubbard, who has 148 yards today.
I got him in fantasy, too.
For Carolina.
Got him in our fantasy league. Let's see. So I need to win today. Okay, I got a 70% chance to beat Mark Rogers. We gotta stick with that because
there you go.
As we said, it's the bye week for most teams play Mark. So
but I don't know, man. Is Oklahoma State one of those places where you need an Oklahoma State guy to be the head coach, or can anyone come in and?
History says yes. Like when you're talking all sports.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have a big enough case study with football for that. I mean, the three best coaches in Oklahoma State history are Mike Gundy 1, probably Pat Jones 2. No, definitely Pat Jones 2. Pat Jones had some really good seasons in the 80s. And then probably Jimmy Johnson or Jim Stanley, 3 and 4. I mean, there's really not a big sample size.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Johnson is obviously Jimmy Johnson, but he was at OSU for 5 years, and by the time they got good, he was off and running to Miami. But like I said yesterday too on our show, if you tell me that the next coach is going to come in, he's going to be the coach for 5 years, and then he's going to go take the LSU job or something, or the USC, just whatever job is bigger than OSU. If you told me that right now, I'd be like, okay, that sucks. In 5 years, that's going to suck, and I'm going to flip that guy off on his way out. You know, depending if he's cool or not. If he's like Lincoln Riley, going to flip him off on the way out. He's a cool guy, very appreciative, then maybe not. But then that means, OSU might have won a Big 12 championship or 2. They might have gone to a playoff or 2. They might have had, 5 straight years of 9 wins and 9
had some success,
He had some really good success. So, like, that's always my counter argument to the stepping stones. Like, hey, when Mike Gundy does leave, OSU is not going to have the same coach for probably 10 years. Now, they might, but, like, it's probably not going to be the case. Most coaches aren't around for 10 years no matter where you are. Like, that's just reality. But it's very hard to keep a coach around have a coach be good enough for a decade. So it's probably not going to be the case. So, I mean, I don't know what Oklahoma State guy you go out there and get outside of Zach Robinson, but I think that's going to be a hard swing. I mean, I guess if you offer him $7-8 million a year, but then again, who's to say he's not going to be an NFL coach this year, making that NFL head coach this upcoming year, making that same amount of money. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't think Mike Gundy's gone. I don't believe that unless he retires, which I can see. I can see a world where that's the case. But
imagine a world where Mike Gundy retires. Somehow Oklahoma gets enough money to pay Brent Venables' buyout, and we have 2 coaching searches in the state of Oklahoma. This the
plane
winter.
Tracking is going to be unreal because they're back. Where is he going? Where is this guy going?
We got a plane.
They should all land in Oklahoma City too. That way, it's not Norman or Stillwater. It's just like land.
That way
Keep the
all right, let's talk a little bit more about some games in college football. Georgia Tech beats up on Miami 28-23. How about Ole Miss taking down Georgia 28-10 there? As Ole Miss keeps their playoff chances alive there in Oxford. I'm trying to look at some of these other ones. Indiana still undefeated, their first 10-win season in program history. They've got a roll in there, and is it Bloomington is where Indiana is? So,
did you hear Craig Sinetti after the game?
I did not. What did he say?
He said they said you're 10-0 for the first time in school history. He said, "Well, it's pretty good."
And he was like, "Yeah, we need to keep working." Yeah, he's a cool guy. I think he seems like a nice football coach. So, how about the Holy War? BYU kicks a field goal to win that one, 22-21. There in Utah, they stay undefeated, and they're the only undefeated Big 12 team left, right?
Yeah. And did you see the ending of that game? The controversy? I
did not.
Here, I'm going to go get the Utah athletic director real quick. Locked up on my phone. So it was fourth down on like the 10, 15-yard line or something. BYU had the ball on their own 10, 15-yard line, so 80, 90 yards to go.
Yeah.
Fourth down, Utah gets a sack. You think the game's over. Flag. There's a defensive holding call on Utah. Kind of iffy. And Utah, then obviously BYU gets first down, goes down, and scores a game-winning field goal. Here's a Utah athletic director after the game.
12 years, this game was absolutely stolen from us. We were excited about being in Big 12, but tonight I am not. We won this game. Someone else stole it from us. Very disappointed. I will talk to the commissioner. This was not fair to our team. I'm disgusted by the professionalism of the officiating crew tonight.
Like he did like a whole press. He did like in a press conference setting too.
What?
Like he literally like went in the press conference room. He said, "We're excited to be in the Big 12, but not anymore."
Yeah.
He full on went Twitter burner. He went Twitter burner at a press conference.
That is great. Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen an athletic director do that in a post game. So
yeah.
Good for him.
I wonder if the Big 12 fines.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll get a fine for something. The good thing is you can sit back, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma fans, and be thankful you're not Florida State because they're 1-9 now on the season. They got their butts kicked by Notre Dame yesterday. And then the live Tiger effects ended up having no effect at all because LSU gets bounced out of the stadium by Alabama as Bama wins 42-13. Did you get to watch any of that game?
The Alabama game? Yeah, that's the big game I was watching. LSU's defense still has found a way to be terribly awful over the last couple seasons. Jalen Miller just had a field day yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch any of that, but I woke up and saw that score, and I'm like, wow, I did not think that would happen. So, all right, that's some college football. Let's get into some NFL. Obviously, this game going on in Germany. Where's it at in Germany? Munich. Yeah, over in Munich, Germany. It's 17-14. The Panthers lead right now, just at the 2-minute warning. In that one, in the fourth quarter, Giants have the ball. They're at their own 34-yard line. So, Chuba Hubbard, great game for him, though. Like I mentioned just a little bit ago, he has what's he up to now? Still at 148 yards, 25 carries, and a touchdown for him. So, good game for him. Daniel Jones stinks. It's like everyone that's not the Giants have realized this. The Giants fail to see that he just sucks as a quarterback.
Yeah, I was texting a buddy this morning, and he was just like, Daniel Jones is so bad. And he's not the biggest, like, football fan in the world. Or he is, but, like, I don't think he's with, like, the contracts and stuff.
Yeah. And
so I said, yeah, you have seen his contract, right? And he's replied back in all caps, $160 million.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a Daniel Jones effect right there.
Anything is possible, right?
Yeah, he's God, they're bad. They're so bad.
Yeah, very bad.
I haven't watched a second of the game, so
I've just got it on here in front of me. Yeah,
I'm not going to put myself through that right now.
All right. How about the Patriots taking on the Bears today in Chicago at Soldier Field? The Bears are a 6-point favorite in this one. Surely they win this one, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah. They're gonna win.
They're gonna win.
The only thing, my only hesitation is I think they've quit on Eberflus.
Yeah.
once I heard those DJ Moore comments of "I don't think so" on as if he's
That
lost
is
the locker
true.
room,
Yeah.
And it looked like they had a little bit of quit in them last week. So I don't know. Just don't break Caleb Williams. That's all I ask. That's all I ask out of the rest of the season. Just don't break him in half, please, or mentally.
By the way, if you have any fantasy football questions, get those in the chat. I know we've got about 30 minutes before kickoff in the NFL.
If anyone has any locks too in the NFL, just send those in the chat.
Yes. Yes. Do that as well. I think we did have one question on Twitter earlier. Let me go and pull that up. I believe it was half PPR, Alec Pierce or Ricky Pearsall. I'm kind of in on Pearsall. He's wide receiver 2 for the 49ers now since Ayuk has been hurt. Brandon Jennings has kind of been in and out all season long, so I'm kind of in on Pearsall, but something about Flacco and his wide receivers. I wouldn't hate putting him there, but I would take Pearsall in that one. So if you've got any fantasy questions, send those in. The Bills and the Colts. Buffalo a 4.5-point favorite. That one in Indianapolis. I mean, this is probably a game where the Bills just run away with it, I think.
I bet on the Bills, so I really hope they do. I'm not a believer in the Colts. I know Matt Ryan's kind of put a little life in them, but it really hasn't been enough for me to think that they're any good still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll take Buffalo minus 4.5 today. I think they're kind of going to be on a mission.
I agree with you there. Yeah, Josh Allen playing pretty good this season, so they're 7-2. Who'd have thunk that he was pretty good? As it looks like the Giants are going to get into field goal range here with 20 seconds left in the game. We might have overtime in Munich.
Oh, I didn't realize it was close.
Yeah, no, we might have overtime in Munich.
I'm putting it on now.
So yeah, keep an eye on that one. All right, how about the Broncos at the Chiefs? The Chiefs undefeated, hosting the Broncos today. The Broncos stink. They're one of those teams where they can beat the bad teams, but when they play the good teams, they just crumble and fall apart.
So I took them +7. I don't know why. I think divisional game. I think they have gotten their brains beat in. I think the Chiefs have been just struggling and treading along the way this whole time. So I think 7 is just too many. I do think the Chiefs are always going to win, but I did take the Broncos +7. I think this could be maybe a close game. It's in Denver, right?
Kansas City.
Oh, never mind. That does make me feel better. But
my roommate has decided that now is the best time to vacuum. So
I can't hear it.
Okay. The Falcons at the Saints today in New Orleans. The Saints, they just fired Dennis Allen, their head coach, because they started off 2-0 and everyone was, so high on the Saints. And we're sitting here. Is Derek Carr fixed? Is he a good quarterback? No, he's not. He's still bad. The Saints are bad. They've lost 7 in a row. And the Falcons, they're pretty good. Falcons are pretty good this year.
Yeah, so I took the Saints +4. The new head coach. I'm a sucker for the new head coach.
I'm with you on that, because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe the guys are fired up this week to go out.
It's in the dome. It's a big rivalry. It's Saints Falcons might be the most underrated NFL rivalry because they hate each other.
Yeah,
they genuinely hate each other. It's just no one really talks about it whenever you talk about the big historic rivals like Eagles, Cowboys, Bears, Packers, things like that. But yeah, they definitely don't like each other. So I took a +4 because why not? I think it's gonna be a fun bet.
We'll see. I don't have much faith in the Saints, but the new head coach effect, interim head coach effect, is definitely something that I do keep my eye on. All right, how about the 49ers and the Buccaneers? This is a big it might not seem like it right now, but this is definitely like a big playoff implication game right here, because both teams have 4 wins. The Bucs come into the game 4-5. The 49ers are 4-4. Everyone's hurt on the Buccaneers right now, as far as wide receivers go. San Francisco is a 6.5-point favorite, and that's why I would take the Buccaneers +6.5 in this game. because it's just a massive spot at home for them, to where I see this line and I'm like, are the Niners really almost a touchdown favorite? You know, do I think the Niners are, a touchdown better than the Buccaneers? No, I don't.
So again, I took the 49ers. we're just completely opposite
on everything.
Yeah. I think the Bucs had an emotional loss last week. I think they are beat up. I think McCaffrey coming back is going to help. Mainly in this game, I just want McCaffrey to do really good because I have a chance to win in fantasy, like win the league in fantasy.
Yeah.
So I really just want McCaffrey to look. I know he's not going to have 200 yards and 3 touchdowns today or anything. Like, I'm not saying that, but just give me some sign of like, okay, he's good. He's going to go for the home stretch here. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting game. I think it's a close game, but I think the 49ers do pull it out and kind of win marginally by the end.
I could see that, but I just don't think the Niners are. And for some reason, I keep forgetting that McCaffrey is coming back. But I'm with you. I don't think he's going to be like ultra productive today for them. I think they're going to try and ease him into it, heading into the rest of the season, and get him 100% good to go for the playoffs here in a month or so, or 2 months, I guess I should say. All right, the Steelers at Commanders. This is a sneaky good game right here. Steelers and Commanders. You've got the Steelers with Russell Wilson, who's been playing great, throwing touchdowns and stuff like that. George Pickens is finally a useful wide receiver for fantasy football, like people have been wanting him to for the last couple of years. And you have Jay Daniels, who is the rookie of the year. He has the Commanders at 7-2. They're probably gonna, win that division, I think, at least. So, yeah, Steelers, Commanders. Commanders a 2-point favorites at home for them.
Yeah, I like the Steelers today. I think Russell Wilson's playing pretty good football. I think their defense is absolutely electric, and Mike Tomlin, underdog, give me it. They're off a bye too, I think.
Are
they?
I don't know. I think they played last week. Who did they play last week? Let me check real quick.
No, they are off a bye.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. They are coming off of a bye last week. Winners of 3 in a row. The Steelers are. So yeah, we'll see how the Steelers, I think that's how they pronounce it up there, match up with the Commanders. Yeah. All right, the Vikings and Jaguars. Not much to talk about this one because the Vikings are just going to beat down the Jaguars. They're not any good. I said before the season started I didn't have much faith in the Jaguars this year, and it turns out I was completely right.
Yeah, you're right for believing what you said. Yeah, I wasn't a big believer in them as well, but I didn't think they'd be this bad. Thought they'd be at least kind of competitive and kind of compete for the AFC South, but they're just a dumpster fire. So
we've got overtime in Munich.
Yeah, we do have overtime in Munich.
I believe they call it extra time. Is what they call it over there in that part of the world. So we're going into to extra time there in Germany, in Munich. This is a cool looking stadium they got there. Some of those European soccer stadiums are really cool.
Yeah, they are.
I will say that. How about this big time rivalry? You kind of hinted at it earlier. The Eagles and the Cowboys. The Eagles right now a 7.5-point favorite in Arlington, but the Cowboys are playing their backup quarterback because Dak, which is so weird, T-Back, because we were doing the show yesterday and Ian Rappaport comes out and says Dak isn't going to hit the IR. And then as soon as I get home 2 hours later, it's, actually Dak's going to have season-ending surgery.
Yeah, that's what I like. Whenever we talked about that yesterday, I was like, I thought you pulled it clean, but Ian Rappaport did say that, like that did happen. But I was like, I thought this was a kind of a bad injury, and sure enough, season-ending surgery. So, Cowboys, sorry, I'm not, but sorry.
Yeah, it couldn't happen to a better franchise. Right?
Imagine being like an OU/OSU and a Cowboys fan right now.
Oh, at least you might have the Thunder to have there in your corner as well. All right, the Jets at the Cardinals. This is a big game for the Cardinals as far as like their playoff odds. I think if they win, they've got like a little bit over a 50% chance of making it to the playoffs. And then the Jets, this is just like a decency game. Like you need to win this to like be like, decent, I guess.
I have no idea how to feel about this game because I can see either outcome.
Yeah.
I can see the Jets kind of, building off.
And the Jets are favorites
they
in
won
Arizona.
last week, right? Who they beat?
Who did the Jets beat last week?
God, they beat someone last week. I know they won.
It was Houston last week. They beat Houston.
That's right. On Thursday Night Football. So build off that. You got a mini bye. So I can see that, but I can also see the Cardinals building off, their win against the Bears that looked good last week. So I don't know how to feel about that game.
I'm with you on that. What other games we have here before we get to the night game? Let's talk about the Chargers and the Titans in LA. The Chargers 8.5 point favorites in that one. I look for them to score a lot of points this week against the Titans and hopefully win that one going away.
You like -8?
I see it at 8.5. I think they probably win by 10 or more. I look, Justin Herbert right now is on a roll. Herbert's on fire right now. J.K. Dobbins is playing good as well. That defense for the Chargers is electric. So yeah, give me the Chargers. I would take them, -8 for sure in that one. I think they'll probably win by 10 or more in that game. And then the night game tonight is the Lions and the Texans. As much as I like CJ Stroud and the Texans, give me the Lions every day of the week. I love me some Dan Campbell. Amon-Ra St. Brown is awesome as well. So yeah, give me the Lions in that one. They're a 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I'll take the Lions too. I want to take the over as well because it seems too simple to take, but I'll end up taking it, I'm sure. But like I said, it seems too easy to take. It's like one of those like easy bets. Like, oh, it's 50 points. They seem to score 26 to 25. We'll do that.
Yeah, no, I'm tracking there. And then Monday night we have the Dolphins and the Rams. Gross. I don't know how much I'll even pay attention to that game. I think the Rams probably win it that one. Rams a 2.5 point favorite there in LA. That's interesting how they're going to have the Chargers game there in LA and then the Rams game the next night. The field crew going to be working overtime.
Yeah, they're sleeping all day. They're going to wake up around 3 p.m.
Yeah, they'll be working all night trying to get all that paint off the field and paint it for the which is weird how they just don't roll in another field. It's like, some stadiums where they just can like roll in. I think the Cowboys Stadium they can do this. They can just put a new field down. I don't know why they didn't do that there in that one. The Giants and Panthers still tied in overtime, 17 apiece. Giants trying to drive down and score a touchdown and win it. So
Panthers just got fumble, I think.
And you're a little bit ahead of me. They did. So they have still sub-scored touchdown, but they're in very good position to do so. All right, before we get out of here, anything else on your mind before we get ready for the whole day of NFL? Thunder play tonight at home against the Warriors. That should be a big time matchup.
That's gonna be a fun game
here in Oklahoma City. That'll be a good one. That tips off at 6 p.m. a home game as the Thunder are on a 6-game homestand here. So you've got a couple of chances over the next week or so to get to Oklahoma City downtown and watch the Thunder play this season as they're off to a hot start. In that game, they play the Suns here in a couple of days, and that game has lost some of its luster with Kevin Durant being hurt for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that sucks because it's always fun when Kevin Durant gets to play in Oklahoma City again. But if it's an easier one for the Thunder, it's an easier one for the Thunder.
Yeah, there you go. All right, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks for hanging out, listening to us on a I wouldn't even say overreaction. We probably underreacted to the way that some of these football teams around here are playing.
We were surprisingly calm. Calm.
Yes, I agree with you. All right, that's going to do it for us. Check out all the NFL games today. Thunder tonight. Have a good one, everyone.